To the last video, welcome
We're back.
So we just recorded the very merry, and now on to Osborne.
Yes.
So again, this is my first time doing the Osborne lights. It was amazing. Right off the bat, I want to say it was amazing. I wanted, as we were leaving that night, I wish I'd never seen it, because now I know exactly what I'm missing year after year after year. With that said, we'll kind of break down more into how our evening went. So we arrived there early.
Yes, because, well, like I've kind of said in a previous video, if you've watched it, we used to do, my family, we used to do Christmas at Disney, or like Thanksgiving time at Disney, and we would do the Osborne lights, we would do Thanksgiving at Cinderella's Royal Table, and then we'd go the next day to do, like, to see all of the decorations of Magic Kingdom. So I've seen all of the, like, progressions of the Osborne lights throughout the years. Like, I saw it when it was back in, like, the neighborhood recreations back in what used to be the Backlot Tour, which was, like, one of the first years that they did it, where they had, like, the whole neighborhood set up. Like, I vividly remember walking around through back there, which was really cool. And then I remember it being in the Streets of America, and of course every year it's evolved. Like, this was probably the most of everything that I've ever seen. Of course, I haven't done it since the early 2000s.
It's also last year, so they're going to bring out everything.
Yeah, which they did say that they brought back a lot of the more popular displays from the last 7 years, I think they said. So it is spectacular. Like, especially if you've never seen it before. We got there way early because, especially in recent years, my parents have found that if you don't get there by a certain time, you can't get in. The traffic
and if you have
is
a stroller,
just so bad.
You'll never get in.
Yeah, so you just have to go and camp out.
Yeah. Which, it wasn't actually too bad from my end. Because I took Elaine around, and we just went around, and we looked at the lights that were not, because they're not on. We went there where it's still day. And that was fascinating. It was seeing all the different shapes and seeing everything that will light up without being lit up. So, I mean, from a Hidden Mickey standpoint, they were everywhere. Like, literally everywhere. And we're just seeing the different displays and everything that was out. And that was a lot of fun. And I think Elaine and I both enjoyed it.
It's a lot of waiting, though. So if your kids, like, aren't into that, because Elaine is into finding the hidden Mickeys with him. So that kind of kept her occupied. But for me, like, I just went and sat on a curb, and I wish I would have brought, like, a towel or something to sit on, because the curb was not so comfortable.
Yeah, after a while, I put Elaine in the stroller, gave her my phone, and put Netflix on, so she could save some energy for when the lights would actually come on.
Yeah, so we waited for, like, an hour
and a half at most.
Well, no, because we went and ate dinner in the commissary, and we left there at like 4:20ish, and the lights don't go on until 6.
So what they were telling me, this is one of the reasons why we decided to do this, because it was the very last minute, is that her mother was talking to one of the concierges at the Contemporary when we had, I think, breakfast, and they were saying, you know, not many people realize the Osborne lights are going on right now. They think it starts at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it starts after.
And what he's saying is that day after day after day, more people are realizing it, and it's getting more crowded every single day. So we decided, you know what? We're here. Pro tip, do not drive.
Yeah,
you will not get in.
Unless you're there for the entire day, and there's just not enough to do at Hollywood Studios, especially if you have young children.
You have to park somewhere and take a bus in. That's the only way you're getting in. Literally, the bus driver when we were leaving said he was at Boardwalk, which is just down the street, and it took him, I think,
30 minutes.
30 minutes to get into the park. So I mean, and they're flagging buses through and making cars wait. So
and there was an accident because people were driving crazy.
Yes.
Because I guess last year my parents saw people abandoning cars, like just on the road at Disney to go in to see the lights because it was that gridlocked because they were at capacity and they weren't letting anybody in.
Yeah, so they were telling me at 6:30 it was the like wishing hour. Last year when they were there at 6:30, it was gridlocked. You're shoulder to shoulder. There's absolutely no room to breathe. If you're claustrophobic at all, you would not.
Yeah, which in the middle where because there's like a crossroads.
It's
that is the densest. But that's where you can actually like see everything. So we got to stand there for when the lights got turned on, which was cool, especially for you since you hadn't seen it before, because it is kind of a moment of like, whoa.
Yeah. So they brought out a family and they brought out Santa Goofy to turn on the lights, and I was really surprised that there was no fanfare. If all of a sudden it was just said Santa Goofy is here to help turn on the lights, and then lights are on. Mm-hmm. There was no like countdown. There was no like big fanfare about turning it on at all. It was just all of a sudden lights are on and they're singing along to the sped up version of Jingle Bells.
Yeah, which I don't ever remember there being like a certain amount of fanfare before. It was always like because they're not there to see the show before the show. Like everybody just wants the lights to be on. It's dark. Turn the lights on.
See, I would have enjoyed some sort of like slow lighting up of everything, like starting at one corner and all of a sudden the lights are spreading out to show everything versus
that's not how they do it. That's what they want, that big like pow.
I mean I get that, but at the same time I feel like I would have enjoyed more if they drew it out.
Yeah,
I would have. And
I kind of like the big like ta-da.
So we were there for about 4. We were leaving during the 5th dancing song. Mm-hmm. We didn't get to explore as much simply because we were there waiting for so long. We had 2 strollers. 2 strollers. It was so crowded. Like I admit 100%, I would have enjoyed being able to spend like an hour just walking around finding everything after it lit up. Because we were able to see a lot when it wasn't lit up, but as soon as it was, there's just different things that you never even know. You couldn't notice until the lights are different colors pointing like these things out. So I would have enjoyed.
And they're constantly changing. So you may see something at one point, and then 15 minutes later, it's gone, and now there's something new.
Yes. So sadly, we weren't able to explore as much as we liked, and I don't know. I doubt we're going to be able to make it back. So that's what it is. It's sad, but I mean, at least I got to experience it. It was a sped up version of Jingle Bells, the first song. The second song, I don't even know what it was.
Feliz Navidad?
No, Feliz Navidad was like the 4th song. The 3rd song was What Is This from Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, because that came after Feliz Navidad.
No, Feliz Navidad was happening as we were leaving. And then as we were fully leaving, because we stopped outside like
They were weird songs.
Dine-in was Trans-Siberian Orchestra Carol of the Bells, which is such a great song. We would have been able to see that.
Yeah, but at that point there was no getting back in.
Yeah, you had to circle back around and make it back to that dense center. Like that was chaos. As soon as we got outside of that center, you could move around, you could explore, you could see things, and that was great. Like being able to actually see.
Yeah, because they want it to be that it's a one-way, that you go from the farthest back into the park up to the front. But that's not what happens. Really what they needed to do was to have like a rope or something down, or the police don't cross lines like straight down the middle, and have one way going one way and one way going the other way.
Or even just take it down one way, come back up down the Y, and then like meander.
But I think that would have been too hard. That would be too hard to like direct the traffic that way. Just because once you get in there, there's no cast members. Because even if there were, you wouldn't see them. You wouldn't be able to hear them.
There's cast members selling things. Because a cast member...
They were at the very end.
Yeah, because, there's no space anywhere in the middle.
No, so there's nobody. Like, that's no man's land. So there's nobody dictating anybody, telling them what to do, where to go. So it's kind of like every man for themselves. So, I mean, look, this is another story of, like, that you're always going to have that one person at Disney who's not kind of following the Disney etiquette. And when we were trying to get out of the center so that we could kind of, like, start moving to, like, look at things as we were leaving, we were trying to go, my father had kind of just created a path with the stroller. So we were trying to follow my dad's stroller and with the stroller, which Joe wanted to say that there are no kids in the stroller. Do not put a kid in the stroller.
I was carrying Elaine.
Carry the kid. Yeah. So there was literally nowhere that I could go because people were just like closing in on that one little gap that they had like kind of made in the trail. So luckily there were these two ladies who had seen that I was with him and Elaine and my father. And this guy behind me was just pushing me. And of course I've got the baby and just didn't care. So these two ladies, like they were able to get in between me and this guy because I had nowhere to go. Like, he's just pushing my back. Like, don't touch people. Like, if you don't know them, don't touch them. Like, even if you don't know them, like, don't touch people. Like, why would you do that? That just is insane to me. So, go ahead. You can say whatever you want.
I really don't have that much else. I wish we'd be able to get back to see it again. I wish they do it. I wish they continue to do something of this nature because it really is fascinating. I think they will. It's
just a matter of what it's going to be.
I hope it's better planned out than what it is.
Yeah, because I don't think it's going to be the Osborne family spectacle of dancing lights anymore. But I have a feeling that they're going to have some sort of light show. It's just a matter of where it's going to be and what it's going to be. I don't know where they would put it.
A lot of changes are coming, so who knows?
Yeah. I mean, maybe back in Toy Story, but...
So this final recommendation, I'd say come see it if you can, especially it's last year. But at the same time, it may already be too late. Yeah. Because at this point, the crowds are beyond packed. I mean, we went yesterday. And
the pictures we saw of tonight were insane.
And Sundays are usually not as bad as Saturdays.
Yeah.
So you might have a chance to actually get in and enjoy some sort of breathing room if you go on like a Wednesday. Other than that, it may, or if you plan in a weekend, you're probably going to be out of luck. You'll have to spend 2 hours in there to be able to get a good spot, and then.
Oh, if you're not there by 2 in the afternoon, you're not getting in.
Yeah.
And that's with a bus.
We watched the buses leave, like all the crowds leaving, and it was insane, the amount of cars trying.
And you're gonna wait forever for that bus to get out of there.
Yeah. So waiting for the buses to actually arrive we got lucky.
Well, it was because of all the traffic of people trying to get in that couldn't because they had cut it off.
Yeah. So if you're trying to leave, try to find a bus that's there that's semi close to where you're actually going. So I mean, if you're at Disney Springs, go to Saratoga Springs. You can walk.
If that bus is there and it's not that crowded,
take it.
Get on that bus.
Yep. If you're going to anywhere in the Magic Kingdom, go to Ticket Transportation. Go to any one that's there.
Contemporary, Floridian, just. So
a lot of fun. Really, really, really glad we did it.
Yeah, really, really, really crowded though. So if you do go, watch your kids.
Yeah,
just because they will be trampled. And Hollywood Studios is not a dry park, so you will get drunk people.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I hope you get to see it. I hope you've seen it. I hope you enjoy the video that we put up. And if it's not good enough, please search out other videos. Yeah,
there are plenty. Just to name a few, like Tim Tracker has some good videos.
All the cheat sheets, Fat Panda, Inside the Magic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good
YouTubers that are all doing the Osborne lights.
It's worth it.
So.
All right. Once again, we will sign off. Good night. Thank you for watching, whatever time of day you are watching, from wherever you are watching from. Mm-hmm. I hope you enjoy. This wasn't as painful as the very
this was we didn't talk for quite as long.
But we had a lot to say.
Yeah, we did.
And I hope you take some of our words of wisdom to heart. They're not much.
If you view
but-
them as wisdom. We're just two very tired parents, and it is like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. So tomorrow's
Elena will
gonna
probably
hurt.
get me up really early again.
Well, she was up pretty late, so
Yeah, let's
hopefully,
hope so.
hopefully tomorrow will be a sleeping in day.
All right, you all out there in computer land, in
YouTube
land.
land.
Good night. Oh, good night.